Good morning, Chipola Nation. Welcome back to the Coaches Show. Head coach Mitch Rolls here for the women's basketball team. Today, we're joined by a special guest, Michaela Brown. Michaela, thank you for coming today.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Today, since we haven't had a game recently, there's no games to update you on. We had the bye week the other day, so everybody else in the Panhandle got to play on Wednesday, and then we had to wait till tomorrow, which tomorrow we play Tallahassee here at home, which is going to be a big game for us with the week off and coming off the break with the loss last week. So, we have a lot to prove this week and need to have a great game. So, first of all, I want to introduce Kai. Michaela, tell us a little bit about hometown, where we're from, and things like that.
All right. So I'm from a town in Canada, Kelowna, BC. Lived there all my life, except for my last year where I went to a prep school in Ontario.
Now, for those who don't know, your hometown in Ontario, what's the geographics there?
Okay,
How far are we away?
My hometown is all the way to the west, and then Ontario is all the way on the other east side. So It was pretty far away from home.
So mom's used to having you far away now then,
Yes,
so it's been a couple years.
She's very used to it.
Yeah, which is something she mentions to me almost every time we talk on the phone. So she wants her baby back close to home soon. So now tell me a little bit about family. Tell me about mom and dad, siblings, and things like that.
All right, so I got my two brothers. I got one a year older than me and one that's about a 6-year difference younger than me.
Okay.
Both of them play sports. My brother played football in university. My little brother's still in everything because, you're 14, you can do whatever you want.
Right.
Both my parents were D1 athletes.
Okay.
They both went to the same college, so I kind of won the genetic lottery there.
Oh, I didn't think I knew that. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
So where did they play?
Iona College.
Oh, in New York.
Yep.
Okay.
That's where they met.
And what sports were they playing?
My mom was playing softball and my dad was football.
That explains a lot. That explains a lot when we watch you play. Very athletic family. And your little brother, he came down the other day. He looks like a big, solid kid.
He's a big kid, yeah.
Is he as athletic as you are?
I think he might be stronger than me. Maybe not his movement.
Yeah.
But
you're pretty bouncy.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a big kid. So
well, football players don't have to be super bouncy unless you're a wideout or something like that.
He is definitely not.
Okay. Well, good. Yeah. Well, and you mentioned going to prep school on the other side of the country. Tell us a little bit about your high school career. Did you go there your entire 4 years? Was it just 1 or 2 years?
It was just one. Okay. I went to high school in Kelowna for most of it, 3 years. And then I went to a prep school in Calgary.
Okay.
For half a year, and then went back home, and then finally made it to Ontario.
Okay.
That was a really good experience for me. I would say Ontario just has a little bit more of an edge when it comes to basketball compared to the West Coast. I think they just play a little rougher, a little, tougher, a little more my speed.
Yeah, your style.
Yeah, so it was a really good experience. My coaches there were great.
Okay.
They retired my jersey on the wall now.
Really?
Yep.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Recently?
Last year. Yeah, because we were the first year that school had a women's program.
Well, I need a picture for that for Instagram.
All right, I got you.
Okay, so later, make sure we get that.
Yeah.
Now, tell me a little bit. Freshman year, sophomore year, did you guys? I don't know how you guys do it in Canada. We have state championships here, that region championships. How successful were your teams through your early years?
During, I would say the prep school year, during the season, we were pretty successful. Mm-hmm. When we made it to, I don't remember what it's called, but it's like state.
Okay.
We lost first round, which was tough, but it was pretty good. And then we went to the grind session and made it all the way to the finals, and that would be the first Canadian team to make it all the way to the championship, but we lost, which sucks.
Yeah.
But it was a really good game.
Now, for the people that don't know about grind session, explain that to people, because it's not your typical prep tournament.
No, it's preps from all over. There's a couple Canadian teams. It's just prep schools from all over America, get together. It was in, I think, Phoenix. Mm-hmm. It's crazy, to be honest.
Yeah, that's one of those big time high profile tournaments that everybody wants to be at. And you guys made it to the championship.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Which kind of brings me to the next part of things. You go from that, your prep school year. What made you choose Chipola? You talk about going from the west side of Canada to the east side of Canada, from the west side of Canada all the way down to the far southeast of America.
Yeah,
what made you choose Chipola?
It's quite a trip. My coach at Fort Erie, my prep school, they had a connection with Coach Markham, the coach of last year, and they recommended I go there. And I had a couple talks with Coach Markham. I was like, this sounds good.
Yeah.
That was it. I committed.
Well, it's easy to spot a great coach like him. Tell us a little bit about Coach Markham. I've obviously had conversations with him. Been able to talk to him a lot. But just from being with him every day, what do you have to say about Coach Markham?
Coach Markham was good. He was a pretty high energy coach. Really liked to get us going.
I felt like your X's and O's were a little more intricate than ours this year.
Oh, for sure. We had a lot more plays.
Yeah.
Which was a struggle for me, not going to lie.
Well, you guys were hard to guard regardless.
Yeah.
That was a great part about him. Great player coach, knows personnel, recruiting, but then he has that X's and O's side too. So I think he's one of the best coaches in the country, just my opinion. So now my big question here is I want to know the difference between Canadian basketball and American basketball in your eyes.
All right. I would say the biggest difference is the style of play. I already said like the aggression between, the West Coast and the East Coast is different. And then you have Canada and America. There's just rougher, it's faster. Actually, Canadian ball might be a little bit faster because we have a shorter shot clock.
What is it, 24?
24.
Yeah.
So
like a pro.
Yeah. So it's a little bit shorter. So it makes it faster, but it's not as rough. It's not as aggressive. I would say it's a little bit softer. If I went back to play basketball in Canada, I think I would foul out of every game immediately.
So the referees are a little bit softer in Canada.
Immediately.
Okay.
I would be out of every game.
Well, you did come to the Panhandle. I think there's some places in America that you could go where the refs are going to be a little softer than here. I love how they let us play in this conference. So you are kind of getting a very unique situation coming into the Panhandle.
Yes, for sure.
And then what about just player-wise? Do you see a difference in player personnel or even style of play?
Between Canada and America?
Mm-hmm.
Not really. I feel like the posts in Canada are a little bit smaller, I would say, and a little bit more mobile in general.
Yeah.
But that's about it. I think everything else is pretty much the same.
We've got the big 6'4", 6'5" centers.
Got all the big centers, throwing their weight around.
Yeah, we need them in the paint. We need them in the paint. We'll take a few next year. We'll have quite a few, hopefully. Mm-hmm. Now, for this season, just give your thoughts. I know you guys had a great season last year, 24-8. Made the state tournament, did well in the state tournament. Obviously lost, but had a good run last year with Coach Markham in his first year. But just thoughts on this season. If you want to compare the two seasons a little bit, that's fine too. But just your overall thoughts as our lone returner and sophomore.
I think this season has been going pretty well, not just on the court but off the court. I think this team is really good. I know we have our one loss, but
talk about that one loss, because I haven't really gotten the player's perspective on the loss yet.
It was ugly. It was a little rough. I really think we just didn't really play together as a team like we usually do. I think we need to get back to what we were doing well, which is, attacking the paint, playing together, moving the ball really well. But yeah, I think if we did that, we would have won that game.
Yeah, we're probably still undefeated. It was a very uncharacteristic game. Took a lot of threes, missed a lot of free throws. Missing 10 free throws, losing by 2 points. That's kind of one of those games you feel like you deserve to lose, And we've shot the free throw well all year, over 70%. I think we just dipped below 70% because of that. Yeah. But we've shot it well all year, and you're right. We've got to get back to getting to the paint and finishing well and playing the right way. So yeah, that's all the questions I got for you. You're out of the hot seat. But as far as our team, tomorrow we've got Tallahassee coming in here. It's going to be a big game. We need to defend the Milt. We haven't lost here this year. It's a dangerous team. Tallahassee gave Northwest Florida a run. Northwest Florida, I think, only beat them by 14 points. They were up on Gulf Coast at one point in that game. So, Tallahassee's a really dangerous team. They're athletic, they're well coached, and they've got good players. So tomorrow is going to be a big day for us. We hope everybody can come out, support us. It's homecoming weekend as well. So we got a lot of stuff going on. We've got baseball, softball, and followed up by women's and men's basketball tomorrow. Hope to see y'all tomorrow. Thanks.